Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Big Talk Pigskin. I'm your host, Bowden, and I'm joined by my great co-host, Korbin.
How we doing?
How we doing, everybody? Today, got a big episode for you guys. We had the playoff semifinals this weekend. Oregon played Indiana on Friday, and on Thursday, Miami played Ole Miss. Now, we know Miami-Ole Miss isn't necessarily a Big Ten matchup here, but we kind of want to take a look in at this before we preview that national championship game here in about a week. Just want to take some time to talk about this game so we kind of know who we're looking at going forward. Miami won this game. They beat Ole Miss. What was the score of that game? Sorry.
No, you're good.
Score of that game. That was Miami 31, Ole Miss 27. Yeah. That was that last second touchdown with 18 seconds left by Miami to take the lead. They were down 24-27. Came back, really impressive drive.
This was a good game.
Yeah, it was a great game. This Miami team, obviously Indiana's really good and they're really hot, but when we look at teams and go, they're getting hot at the right moment, that's been Miami.
Yeah, definitely. I think Miami has kind of found their stride sort of late in the season here. And this was a team that really had no business making the college football playoff, on any typical year standards. Yeah. They were, I think, what were they, 14 going into the previous ranking beforehand, and then them and Notre Dame kind of flip-flop spots. I know that's something that we've kind of touched on here, but kind of like a super Cinderella story here where they've really definitely turned their season around. I will say, though, I think if Ole Miss had 10 more seconds in that game, that we could be having a different conversation right now.
I agree.
Yeah, I was going to say third year in a row that the SEC has missed the national championship. It's pretty impressive. So, I've seen a lot of people joking about now that everyone can pay their players, the playing field has kind of been leveled. But I don't know that's so true. I think
maybe it is.
I think the SEC has done a good job of sort of beating up on itself, but the Big Ten is definitely flexing its dominance here.
Yeah, the Big Ten obviously looks to be the perennial conference in college football right now. We love to see it. Back to your point, yeah, I think if there would have been 10 more seconds in this game, maybe it would be a different conversation. Maybe this would have been Ole Miss winning this game. They kind of got hosed at the end. That last play of the game, that's a pass interference.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a pass interference. It's blatant. It's not like some ticky-tacky one that they're like up in the air of whether you should call or not. It's pretty blatant. That should have been another play for Ole Miss.
What felt like towards the end of the game was the refs kind of they kind of came to terms that Miami was going to win this game.
Win, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it kind of just felt that way towards the end. But I don't know. This was a really interesting game, and I think this is it's really interesting storylines from both these teams. I know we've kind of covered it on last week's podcast, on the last podcast. Miami, once a sort of a perennial powerhouse, hasn't been to the big games since before we were born.
Yeah, 2001.
Yeah, so interesting stuff here to see that they're back to the big show, and they've had to do a lot of really good things to get here. So it's interesting. Interesting storyline on there. And now Indiana side of thing, which we'll definitely get into later. I'm definitely a little higher on them than I am Miami.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, you're right. This storyline for not just this Miami team, but the historic program of Miami itself is a great storyline. It's been since 2001, haven't made a national championship. Right. They really haven't been overly great since back in those times. I remember when Manny Diaz was the head coach at Miami before going to Duke, or I guess before he went to Penn State to be the defensive coordinator, then over to Duke because he failed out at Miami. And Mario Cristobal, man, I remember those first couple of years. I don't know exactly what year he's in. I want to say somewhere between 6 and 8 seasons there. I remember those first couple of years and going, man, he's not going to turn Miami around. It's not going to be him. They got to move on. It's going to happen here next year. And then he did just a little bit better and is able to keep going. He just
Right.
kept finding a way to stick around, and now they're in the national championship game.
Yeah, and this is no hate towards. I was gonna say right. This is no hate towards like Miami. I just feel like this is a real like stars aligned situation, right? As we just said, like there was a very good chance this was a team that like this was a team that was not expected to even be in, right?
No.
And I think there's an argument.
Well, and had Virginia just won their conference championship game,
yeah, they wouldn't have. This wouldn't have happened, and so it is interesting to see sort of that butterfly effect of how, Virginia losing that Big Ten, or excuse me, the ACC championship, has the ripple effect. And I think as a couple Miami fans should probably be thanking the Duke faithful, because without them
they gotta thank their old head coach, man.
Yeah, man. Seriously though. So I don't know. It's interesting to see how all this is sort of shaken out. But like I was saying, I think this could be a star sort of align sort of season for Miami, right? You know what I mean? Catch Ohio State on the fortunate bye, and play a really impressive game at Texas A&M. Find any way to win, right?
Great defensive battle.
Yeah.
And they've shown so many different looks through the playoffs, Miami. Mm-hmm. I mean, you look at that first game, that first round matchup, Texas A&M, super huge defensive battle. Play Ohio State, it's kind of a mix between them going, hey, we can play offense and we can play defense. And then this game against Ole Miss was like offensive only sort of game, like it was more high scoring than those other ones. And so they've shown us three different styles of their football team through 3 games here. They can be a defensive giant, they can be an offensive giant, and they can play very balanced as well. And it's huge. It's huge to like see your team be able to do this against some of the other best teams in the country before you walk up against this number 1 seeded Indiana Hoosiers team who has one of the best offensives, in the country this year.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, Miami's found a way to be scrappy, regardless. And excluding that Louisville game, which was really just a disaster class by Carson Beck. I saw an interesting stat. This was on, I think, Saturday morning. Got up, and there were 3 quarterbacks playing in the postseason right now from the 2020 class. Can you tell me who those quarterbacks are?
From the 2020 class?
Yeah.
Oh, Carson Beck.
Okay, Carson Beck. There's one.
Was Trinidad Chambliss, Ole Miss quarterback, on there?
And so
I wasn't sure because I know this was 5th year for him.
Yeah, no.
So you would have been from 2020 class.
I think the stat was they were top 10 quarterbacks in the
top 10
recruiting class.
Okay.
Right? So
yeah.
What's interesting about this stat?
Those other ones aren't still around.
No. You now have to go to the NFL.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Right. So so then it is Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, which is just funny to see that these guys are playing in, what is it, their 3rd NFL seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah. CJ Stroud, multiple playoff runs here, or we'll play today, the day that we're recording this, his second playoff game. And we find Carson Beck still in college football.
Still there.
It's just interesting. I think that's a cool little tidbit there, but
that is pretty cool. And that just shows you how much the college game has just kind of grown and changed, that we have guys playing for 6 years. Now, of course, Beck came in during the COVID year. Mm-hmm. So he was given that year. I believe he redshirted the next year. So, I mean, it adds up being here for 6 seasons.
Definitely.
Like, it makes sense when you look at it. It's just weird. Like, if you were to go 10 years ago and tell me that we were going to have people who transfer every single year, play for 5 different schools, and have played for 7 years straight, like, I wouldn't know what to say.
No, and I mean, even Trinidad Chambliss, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to get a waiver, and the
denied.
NCAA has now denied it for the 2nd time, I believe. But I guess they can have a rebuttal, another one. So we'll see.
I I saw that it's like hey, if we're gonna go forward with a lawsuit here, need to do it in the state of Ole Miss, so you can get an injunction easier. So that way that he just gets granted it based on the injunction. But if you take it to Indiana and Indianapolis, do it in their hometown where the NCAA is based out of, it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. From what I've heard, I don't know how true that is. Now I've seen a lot of people, and you know what? Seen a lot of people upset. They're like, well, Pavia got another year. Why can't Chambliss? Let's look at this here. Diego Pavia played 2 years at JUCO, community college, NJCAA, not NCAA. No. Trinidad Chambliss played Division II. He still was a part of the NCAA organization. Now, like, I'm just going to throw myself in here as an example. We could use you as an example as well. I was a Division III track athlete.
Yeah.
But NCAA. So let's say out of like some miracle, I became really, really good, wanted to transfer up, and I had 1 year left. I don't get to go up to Division I and say, well, I was playing D3, so you should give me more time. No, it's not how it works. You're still you're still a part of that. Now, had Trinidad jumped up from JUCO or NAIA, yeah, sure, you give him the years because he wasn't a part of the NCAA, just like Pavia was.
I still think you're playing ball though. And I think the most important number that nobody wants to talk about is you get 5 years. You get 5 years. Once at the day you graduate high school, your timer starts, and you have 5 years. You have 5 years to compete in eligibility. And scratch the high school. The day you graduate high school, the day you enroll into a institution, you have 5 years from that date to finish your
NCAA institution, though.
Well, no, but I'm saying it should be period. Like if you were competing athletics at a higher level, and that's great for Pavia. Like my sister, her boyfriend, he plays at Mercyhurst, and he talks about a lot. He's like 75% of my team is now coming from JUCO, and he's like, and it's changed the landscape. Like we are developing players at a much higher clip, and again, as we'll cover in the Indiana game, like what kind of separates it, that's an entire different, sort of mode of building a dynasty, right? If you're really, you don't even have to be great at recruiting high schoolers anymore. You recruit the local guys to you wherever your institution is, and then you hit the transfer portal with all the money you would spend in normal recruiting, right? And so it's just interesting how the landscape of college football is kind of changing before us here.
And I've seen one good argument that I never really thought of, kind of for some of the high school recruits. A lot of high school recruits make a bad decision coming to school, like early on, right? Like they go, oh, I want to go play for the top name, despite fit. So like they could, let's say, you're a 3-star, you have an offer to Alabama, you have an offer to Ohio University, the Bobcats, and then you have a Division II offer from, I'm going to throw Ferris State out there. Trinidad's from there, but, national championship contender there. Now, if you're looking at Alabama, you're going, well, I have an offer here. I may never play here. I have an offer at OU. I might play my junior and senior year, or I can go to Ferris State, start right away. Maybe at this point, if you're going, well, with all the transfer portal, I may never play Division I. I'm going to go to Division II. It's the school I liked the most when I visited out of all those three. Go there, play there for 1 or 2 seasons, play really well, ball out. Now you transfer up. And now you're at that same level again, and you're probably getting more playing time and probably develop better. Plus, you had a happier time.
Sure,
it's
but
not true in all aspects.
There's also the argument, right? And there's also the argument of like the Julian Sand didn't play a single snap at Alabama, right?
Yep.
Didn't play a snap. But because Alabama is tied to his name, he's immediately seen as a marquee prospect. Ohio State goes out and gets him. Obviously, they recruited him at a high school too.
Right.
But it's one of those things where it's like, hey, if you are maybe a fringe 4-star guy and say the University of Oregon, like a very good program is saying, yeah, you can come play for us. You're probably going to sit for a couple of years. We're in an age where you can go to Oregon, sit for a year, use your redshirt year, get better, use all the facilities that you want, and say, hey, who's the best team in the Mountain West? I'm going to go play there for 2 seasons, ball out, and then go get drafted or go back to Oregon, or maybe it's not even 2 years, right? With the transfer portal now,
Right.
it's a high turnover. You need one good season, and then your life sort of changes. So, I mean, it's cool. It is, and
It is.
it is. I think it's cool, but I do think it needs some sort of guardrails, if some could say. Like, you could a third or excuse me, I think it was a fourth of college football is in the transfer portal, and I think we're climbing up closer to a third now. And so it's just like,
I think we might be at a third now.
Yeah, it's not sustainable. So
no, it's not.
Yeah,
I personally believe we should give one free transfer. Sometimes you make a wrong decision. One free transfer. Your second transfer, you have to sit out a year. You can use your red shirt if you haven't used it on that year. If you've already used your red shirt, you just lose a year. It's gone. It's gone. That's the way it used to be. It's gone, but you still get one free one versus in the past you didn't. If your coach leaves, your head coach leaves, there's a coaching staff turnaround, then you are also permitted to leave with no like penalty, no sit out, which makes sense. That's the way it should be. It would make things way easier. You'd have a lot less going on, but who knows if something like that'll ever happen.
I don't think
there's regulations coming, but
I don't know. Yeah, I hope so, but I feel like there's no.
I mean, we already took down having 2 portal windows to just having one.
Mm-hmm.
So once this one's over, you will not see summer transfers, right? Like, we can't do that now.
Yeah, which is good.
It's great. It's way better because there's a lot of these guys who I felt like they came in. There was a lot of guys I think transferred in last year who then went, oh, I'm not actually going to play here. Hop back in the portal.
Yeah,
or freshmen who enroll early and go, oh, I'm not going to play right away. Or I'm balling out in practice. I look really good. I'm sending my practice tape out. I'm getting out of here. I'm going bigger. What are we doing? You haven't even been there yet. You haven't played there, and you're already in the portal. Again, it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
It doesn't make sense. And the whole not Joey Aguilar, he kind of happened because of Nico Iamaleava. His situation where he waited all the way till the spring, and then it's like, I actually don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. I want more money. Like, just randomly out of nowhere. And then we kind of see that quote unquote trade happen between UCLA and Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
That will not happen. Late into
shouldn't. Some serious tampering.
Crazy stuff would have to happen for that to go on now. A little off topic, but it's still on topic here. But again, that Miami game, Miami looked good. Ole Miss did too. Miami just found a way to win, and
I think
they have a pretty big matchup ahead of them.
I think the stars are aligning for this team.
Maybe they are.
That's what No. I'm saying I think they have aligned so far, and now they are getting to meet a force that is Indiana. So we'll see.
They get to meet Indiana, and they get to meet them at home. Home game for Miami.
True.
So a little bit of advantage. No sort of travel. Get to practice at their own facilities next week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge benefit for them. Flipping on over to that Oregon-Indiana game. Man, did I not expect this? Like, I did, but I didn't expect it like this.
Hey, watch the last episode. Watch the last episode. What did I say?
6-22. Yeah, no, it's there. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer. It was a landslide. Indiana, first play of the game, jump the pass, take it back for a pick six. That's when we knew it was like, oh, they're here. Indiana's here. They're not letting this be a 10-point game again.
This game proved to me one thing, and one thing specifically. We've had a conversation about this. The Big 12 is fraudulent.
The Big 12 is fraudulent.
Texas Tech, I was so high.
We loved them.
I'm so high. I talk so highly of them on this podcast.
I did too.
They bullied a very, very bad conference. BYU would go 8-4 in the Big Ten.
And you know what? I kept saying, I was like, BYU should have been in over Miami. Mm-hmm. I fully believe that. I don't now. Mm-hmm. I really don't now.
No, yeah.
That's on me. That's a bad judgment.
Yeah, and maybe Morton came out and didn't play a great game that game against Oregon, sure. But this Oregon team made them look very, very bad, very beatable, exposed all their strengths, just not good. Or excuse me, all their weaknesses.
All the
but
weaknesses, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, just going into this game, I just felt like it wasn't even the same. They weren't even on the same plane here. Like Oregon and Indiana. Again, Oregon, I like Dan Landing. I think they've got a star-studded staff, but this is, we're talking about Kurt Signetti here, this is, we could go on Indiana could go on a run here.
Heisman Doza, man.
Yeah, Heisman Doza.
5 touchdowns.
It's a good time to be in Bloomington, Indiana right now. That's how I feel. And so I think this is only the start for them, really. I think this is going to be an interesting next couple of years to see how the Big Ten sort of shakes out and see if Indiana can keep these, keep it going. And it doesn't look they're showing no signs of slowing.
Yeah, no, they aren't. And yeah, like Mendoza, he went 17 for 20 on passes, 3 incompletions the entire game, 177 yards. Didn't need more than that. Run game was great. 5 passing touchdowns. Insane. On the receiving end, Elijah Surratt, I believe it's Surratt. That's how you pronounce his last name. 7 receptions, 75 yards. He had 2 touchdowns on top of that. That guy came with Kurt Signetti over from James Madison. He was there. Dog. Absolute dog.
Total dog.
And then Charlie Becker. That's a young guy. It's a young guy on this team. He had a great receiving day. He also, he was second. He had 2 receptions, 48 yards and a touchdown. Like, they fed the ball to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody got their stars. Kalon Black, number 8 running back for Indiana, 2 touchdowns on 12 carries, 63 yards. Like, everybody ate. Everybody got fed. The only person who didn't get fed was Alberto Mendoza. Mm-hmm. They didn't put him in.
Yeah.
They didn't put him in. They should have.
And there's some news that came out of there. They ended up nabbing Josh Hoover.
Yes,
out of TCU. And so already locked and loaded for next year. But it does kind of hurt. It hurts the lore for little baby Mendoza. So
Nick Marsh out of Michigan State, that is a wide receiver, not a running back. That's on me. Said the wrong thing. He's a dog as well.
Yeah.
But Alberto, I think, sits another year. Develops one more season.
Freshman. Yeah, that makes.
Yeah, he's going to sit another year and develop, and he's going to be good.
Yeah,
he's going to be good.
He had some good plays. He's had some good plays throughout the season, though. So
when he's gotten his chance. Yeah, and then on that other end, like Dante Moore. This was kind of the battle for the first overall pick. Going into the NFL draft, and Dante didn't play bad. Like, let's take away the pick 6 at the start of the game. Mm-hmm. Take that away. That's a turn and pass. You catch the ball, you turn and pass it. It's very similar to Ohio State's that got picked off against Miami.
Yeah,
it's the same sort of play. So you're not looking for that guy. Your play design is to catch the snap, turn and throw, no matter what. It just got jumped. It was great defense, a great read by the defense. It seemed like they knew it was coming. So let's get rid of that 1 interception for Dante Moore. He had a great game. 24 for 39, 285 yards, 2 touchdowns. A lot of the time, that is a good enough stat line to win a football game.
Yeah, most of the times it is. But I think just to circle back to like what you said about the draft, I think this was the first battle of a two front war. This one was actually really a 3 front war because they played twice this season, and then the combine. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. And Dante Moore has yet to declare for the draft, so that's something to keep.
That is true.
Keep your eye out for too. I think the powers that be, and I think the people at Oregon are definitely going to do their best to get that there. Because I think it's a big
going to try to keep him.
You know what I mean? You think they will try and keep him?
They're going to try and keep him. So I've heard this in the portal about the Oregon Ducks. When it comes to Dylan Raiola, early on, I believe I said this to you. I'm not sure if I said it on here.
You did.
Early on in the portal, I said, Dylan Raiola, the only place I'm seeing him as going is Oregon from everything I've seen. earlier today, maybe late last night, I start seeing stories about how Dante Moore might stay. Dylan Raiola might still come into Oregon, sit, and then play. He has, he started his freshman and sophomore year. He could redshirt. And sit behind Moore, burn his redshirt, take it off if for any reason he had to come in and replace him.
You're saying Raiola?
Yes.
I think he's too big of a personality to sit.
I agree, but that's what I'm starting to hear. People don't want Raiola. He hasn't been getting much attention.
I mean,
he's going to have to move down if he wants to play, it seems.
The Patrick
he's going to have to move to a group of 6 or down to the FCS to play, and for him, it might look best to go, let me transfer to Oregon, sit, and then play after Dante's done next year. Or maybe Dante ends up going into the draft, and most of those big QB prospects have already kind of been taken, and then Dylan Raiola goes and starts there next year. Personally, I wouldn't want Dylan Raiola next season. If he was to sit behind Dante for a year, maybe I'd be more inclined to having him as my starting quarterback.
I think he's going to find a good landing spot. I do.
I don't know.
Who's the South Florida quarterback?
I don't know who transferred there. Somebody transferred there.
Let me see.
Somebody did transfer there not following Heartline because they weren't from Ohio State.
And that's just a name that just pops up in my head.
Oh, yes. Luke Cromanhook. He played at Mississippi State, Florida State, then Mississippi State. Now he's going there. And then Michael Van Buren, who is at LSU, is also going there. So
that's kind of accounted for already.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is you go and look at the portal. It's, everybody's been taken. You know what I mean? Like
it's early
the majority
on, right?
of these big spots have been taken.
Because I'm sure his team right now is saying, listen, we're going to be able to go wherever we want. Bama's going to want you. So and so is going to want you. Whoever, right? You're going to be able to go wherever you want. I think that is going to. I think that's wearing off.
It definitely is.
And now it's like, hey, let's figure something out here. Maybe we're leaning towards like an Oregon State or something, right? You know what I mean?
Actually, somebody just went to Oregon State today.
Really?
Yes, I would have to pull it up. Give me a second. But I know I saw who went to Oregon. I don't remember how big of a name it was.
Yeah. Just I was gonna say while you're looking that up. I mean, circling back to this game, it really wasn't even close.
Yeah. Oh, it was the Mercer quarterback, Braden Atkinson. He was a dog.
Okay.
If you know ball, he's a dog.
Mercer.
He's a dog. He was very good at that level. So moving to a spot like Oregon State, I personally, if I was Raiola, I wouldn't want to go to Oregon State. I mean, again, you're dropping a group of 6.
Yeah,
they are. But especially the Pac-12 next year will have teams in it.
Yeah,
that are all Mountain West teams.
Now you got to find a group of 5, or excuse me, a Power 4 school that's going to take you though. I think that's easier.
That's why I think he'll go sit at Oregon. He could go play at Purdue,
Cincinnati.
Cincy, maybe. I think they've brought a guy in. I don't believe it was anybody huge, but
yeah,
still, like, things aren't looking great for Raiola. It doesn't seem in the portal, and that's why I do think he'll end up at Oregon, if I'm being honest. That's where I see him. I see him as an Oregon Duck next year, whether he's their starting quarterback or whether he's sitting behind Dante Moore as the second string. I see him in Eugene.
Yeah, I was going to say right now the only confirmed visits that he has is Oregon, and a lot are speculating Louisville.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't know who's at Louisville. I don't know if they've gotten anybody. I don't know if they've gotten anybody. I'll take a look here real quick. Not sure if they've gotten anybody in there or not yet. Hold on.
No, we're good. No, but I mean.
Yes, they did. Yes, I forgot. I should have known this one. This is on me. Lincoln Kienholz from Ohio State.
Oh, that's right.
He's going to Louisville. So I guess if you're Dylan Raiola, you go there and say, I'm going to beat this guy out. You're going to go there and compete and beat him
definitely could. I mean,
we have no idea if he could or not.
Sitting at Ohio State for,
Lincoln's been sitting there.
What was that, 2 years?
2, yeah, I believe. So
coming up from South Dakota, or down from South Dakota, excuse me.
Yeah, but, so maybe that's Dylan Raiola's option is to go there and compete, or that's a good landing spot for him, I think. But again, I think he'll be at Oregon. That's what I see. It's what I've been seeing since he entered the portal was he was going to Oregon. That was a month ago. Or since he announced he was going to go into the portal a month ago. I've been seeing Oregon ever since. So I still believe he's going to end up at Oregon. Just to kind of kick it back, kind of got a little off topic.
You're good.
Happens. It happens. It's what we do. Yeah. Indiana looks so good. They look so good. It's like it's an immovable object.
Yeah, real.
Nobody can stop, or an unstoppable force.
Unstoppable force. We have yet
nobody
to find
can
the
stop.
object.
Yeah, nothing. There has been no object. There have been some things that have slowed it down, but nothing that has made it stop. They find a way to go through those things that slow it down. They go.
Great teams find a way to win, and this team's going to continue to do that.
Yes,
I don't think Miami stands a chance.
I don't see Miami standing much of a chance. They'd have to play really, really good. Better than I've seen a Miami football team play in my entire lifetime.
I agree.
Good. Like that kind of good.
I agree.
And this Indiana game against Oregon this week. It's the best Indiana football game I've ever seen in my entire life. It's probably the best game in program history.
Probably.
I would have to assume it's probably their best win in program history. Maybe you'd say the Ohio State one in the Big Ten championship. Sure. This game I'd see as even better.
I think so too. I think this is bigger. I mean, it's obviously bigger for the brand, right?
Yeah, it takes you to the Natty.
But the next one's the biggest. So got to get it done.
Biggest game in program history, yes.
Got to get it done.
It comes up. They have to get it done. I believe in Coach Signetti. I think he's a dog. He's awesome. Fernando Mendoza, he's awesome. I love Elijah Sarrat.
The Heisman.
However, he's a dog too at receiver. I mean, this team, I don't know. Like I don't see anything stopping these guys.
I don't either.
I don't see anything stopping them.
Keep on rolling.
Keep on rolling. That's what the Hoosiers are going to do. They're going to keep going. Hammer, or foot down on the pedal.
Yeah.
All gas, no brakes.
Real.
All gas, no brakes. That's the Indiana Hoosiers of 2025. This isn't your grandpa's Indiana Hoosiers. This isn't your dad's Indiana Hoosiers.
Sir.
This is your children's Indiana Hoosiers.
Could be.
This isn't even our Indiana Hoosiers. This is not who I'm used to.
We're here now.
Well, I'm saying like our lifetime. This isn't our Indiana Hoosiers.
Yeah, true.
This is your baby's Indiana Hoosiers team. This is who they are. This is what we expect for them going forward now. It's to be like this, and I expect them to be holding up a national championship trophy here in a week.
Crazy to say.
It is crazy. So crazy. I never thought I'd see it in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Beginning of this season, me and Korbin, we're with each other a lot. Before this season started, I looked at him and I said, Indiana will not be as good as they were last year. I said, sure. I said, I think they could win 9 games, maybe 10. I said, but I think last year was kind of a fluke. They had a really easy schedule and they just, found ways to win when they had tougher opponents. And like last year, they didn't beat Ohio State in the regular season. And then they lost to Notre Dame in the first round. And I was like, they weren't great last year and they're not going to be better. I thought they were going to be worse.
Yeah.
They've done nothing but prove me wrong the entire season. And by the 3rd or 4th game of this year, I was like, this team's way better. So much better. I was completely wrong. That's when I knew. That's when I knew I was wrong and that this team had a very good shot at a national championship game.
Mm-hmm. What's cool about this program, too, is it's not with the high-flying athletes. You know what I mean?
No.
It's the guys that sometimes these are their, 3rd or 4th stops. And Signetti, I think he's got the best eye for talent in the NCAA by far. And I think that's what it boils down to. He's just proven time and time again the ability to put his guys in the positions that they kind of set up for themselves, right? And it's impressive. It's just impressive how the culture he's brought into there and the players as well, and sort of the ability to execute and continue.
He knows how to read quarterbacks as well.
Mm-hmm.
Longtime QB coach. I mean, he was Phillip Rivers' QB coach at NC State.
Yeah,
he was the QB coach at Alabama under Nick Saban for a while before he decided to go be a D2 head coach.
Right.
So this guy knows ball.
Impressive work. I think his only kryptonite that is something to watch out for is he's got to keep his coordinators close to him. So It'll be interesting to see if any of them ever decide to part for some more cheddar, if that were to hurt him. But it seems like he's brought in a good staff together, and hopefully he can continue to do that because he's fun to watch. So
yeah, a lot of fun. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in today. I don't believe there's going to be an episode up on Friday. We're going to go preview the national championship game Monday morning, right before the national championship that night. So tune back in next Monday in a week. We'll see you guys then, and thank you guys for tuning in.
See you.